Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle Aris, and welcome to my channel. If you are the first-time viewer, or if you are a subscriber, regardless. And I firstly must apologise because I have been so inactive as of late with this. Basically because my family visited for a week, and then I've been doing so much work with CSN. Oh my god, so much cool stuff coming your way. If you're part of the TL community. So do look out for that from CSN. We've got some cool stuff going on, like all the Korean house tournaments. Oh my god, ultimately leading to one Korean getting a spot to go to MLG Columbus. That stuff is going to be sick, and I am working very, very closely with CSN on that. I've been doing a lot of writing and going to be doing some casting for them as well, which is awesome. So, we do have here NightEnD going to be spawning as the red Protoss in the 9 o'clock position, and we have Aristero spawning as the blue Zerg in the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock position. And I don't know too much about Aristero, but I do indeed know about NightEnD. Recently, unfortunately, Praetoria has disbanded, and I think Thorzane went to Maus, and NightEnD has gone to Fnatic MSI. So congratulations to NightEnD regardless. That is a very good pickup there by Fnatic MSI, as NightEnD is a fantastic Protoss player. And Thorzane, as we all know, if you have been watching the TSL, is indeed an absolutely fantastic Terran player. One of the best Terran players in the world right now, in my opinion. Highly underrated actually going into the TSL, but I had my inkling into Thorzane's abilities. No, I'm joking. I pegged him as losing in the first round. Who was he playing in the first round? I think it was Tyler or something. No, it was Fruit Dealer. It was Fruit Dealer. Oh my god, I'm such a baddie. But oh well, doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. So NightEnD here going to be throwing down his gateway in the normal position for PVZ, just going to be creating a little wall off as is always usual. And Aristeo going to be going for spawning pool first, because that hatchery first can always be blocked by the little probie. And in fact, if you do go for hatchery first as the Zergy player, a reactionary forge can go down, and you can blocking off this ramp and making the hatchery cancel. So it's absolutely flew with problems if you actually do go hatchery first and the Protoss scouts in time. So 7 minutes core now on the way for NightEnD. We do see a second gas going down at a pretty standard time for NightEnD as well. Just going to be getting a little bit of a lead in economy as he is able to chrono boost out those probes over the Zergy. And it looks like the Zergy is going to be going to do some little expansion in a second. Zergling is going to be chasing away that probe. We do have Zergling speed on the way as well as a Queen. A little bit of a lag spike there, sorry about that. And warp gate research has now begun. And do bear in mind that this is after patch 1.3, so 1.33. So ultimately, this warp gate will take a little bit longer to research than is normal. And I have my skepticisms about the warp gate the change so far. I mean, it's only an extra 20 seconds in game time, and 20 seconds in game time is really not as long as you might think it is. So I am extremely skeptical of that. But also, I mean, I like this change in the sense that, I mean, a lot of people don't touch on this for PVZ, but I mean, if you're going for a 3-gate sentry expand, sentries come out a lot quicker now, especially with chrono boost. So it actually makes securing that natural a lot easier with a 3-gate expand. I really don't think that many people have touched on that in terms of the actual change, but it's a small thing to note, as the changes were primarily designed to do something about PvP and 4-gate blah blah blah. So oh well, no worries, no worries. So we do see NightEnD is indeed going for that 3-gate expand, and warp gate research is just about half done now. He is going to be moving down here with these units to see what is going on, and he's going to be able to scale that natural pretty easily, as there is only 3 Zerglings there. They do have the speed now though, so they're going to be able to be a little bit pesky whilst he does intend to go for that expansion. Those 2 gateways have almost finished now, and we do have a roach warrant on the way for Aristeo. So looks like, I mean, from here Aristeo could do a plethora of things, an absolute massive amount of opportunities here for Aristeo. He could go for a Ling roach all in, which is extremely strong against a 3-gate expand if the Protoss doesn't scout it, and in that sense the Protoss would really need hallucination that early to get the adequate scouting for that actually to be spotted, or a really sneaky probe in the main of the Zerg. So let's just go to the income tab now. We do see that the Zergy is pulling ahead quite far. He does have this expansion very, very saturated now, and doing a good job of injecting as well. He's just going to be throwing down a spine crawler in order to be able to secure that natural even further. We do have a forge going down for NightEnD as well, just to be able to start those upgrades. And it's always nice to be able to start those upgrades nice and early as a Protoss, or any player in fact, due to the fact that it just gives you such a strong mid to late game if you can get there as many of those probes and as many of those upgrades out as quickly as possible. But also, as you can see from NightEnD here, it is also extremely good in being able to secure your natural expansion. And wow, we do actually have hallucination coming out for NightEnD. You are just a little cherub, you. NightEnD is indeed going for hallucination, so going to have such good scouting early on in this game, and he is going to be chasing those Zerglings away. We do have Roach, Burrow, and Speed, Burrow and Tunneling Claws on the way, so actually going for the Tunneling Claws before Glial Reconstitution, which is an interesting choice. You don't normally see that from Zerg. You normally see Glial Reconstitution coming out first, and then actually getting the Tunneling Claws later on if they so decide. Zealot here going to be poking in, does get an Overlord kill for free, and at the same time though, the Zerg's going to be in a fine position. He is reinforcing with a lot of units here, and ultimately this feigned aggression here by NightEnD has done a lot in terms of actually forcing units from Aristero. But Aristero, that being said, Aristero did not overcommit to any kind of feigned pressure that did go on. We do have 2 Phoenix moving out here across the map, going to be able to get adequate scouting in. A Robo facility is on the way for a NightEnD as well, and Weapons +1 is on the way as well. So, going to be able to spot everything that is going on in this base. He does see that this Roach Warren is down. He did see that it was researching, but NightEnD is probably thinking at this point that it is Glial Reconstitution instead of the Tunneling Claws. As I said before, getting Tunneling Claws before Glial Reconstitution is rather strange for a Zerg, and it looks like the Zerg's actually going to move out with this force. He has committed a lot of lava to Roaches, even 7 more Roaches on the way. Glial Reconstitution now coming out now that Tunneling Claws has finished, and this cannon is really going to be able to shut down a lot of the tunnel burrow movement opportunities that the Zerg does have, and I'm pretty sure that the cannon was just scouted then by these Roaches, but now, as you can see, this Phoenix does know that these guys have Tunneling Claws, as the spiky little Roaches have morphed in. The spikiness gives away that they do have those Tunneling Claws, so not too bad force fields there, going to be denying any kind of Zergling run-ins that do go along here. This is a really nice force in order to be able to deal with this aggression. There isn't really too much that this can do right now, especially, as I said before, with this cannon here. We do have Immortals on the way now, and is that a second Robo? It is a second Robo, so he's going to be going for heavy Immortal production, and as you can see, he is going to be burrowing under here, but this cannon has full vision of this, and wow, actually that is great play there by NightEnD, putting down force fields on the burrowing Roaches so that they have no chance to actually unburrow at any given point in time. And now these Roaches though are out of range, but oh wow, great timing here from this observer, going to be able to spot a lot of these Roaches, and the Roaches really can't do much at all. They are really stuck here, and with these Immortals out, these Roaches are just utterly sacrificed to the sheer power of this Protoss army. Good force fields there blocking off those Roaches just slightly in order to be able to negate a lot of the damage actually coming in on this force, and as NightEnD cleans up this back force here, he's going to be able to turn around and push away this secondary force of Aristero. So NightEnD really showing here the power of having that lone cannon initially against a Zerg player, as Tunneling Claws, ladies and gentlemen, is becoming ever so popular when it comes to Zerg in general against Protoss. And we do actually have Aristero going to be expanding behind this, which is very, very clever there by Aristero. He is going to be burrowing these Roaches just to get a little bit of health back, and going to be bringing some Overlords here. Where are they going? Retreat, Overlords, go away. And yeah, NightEnD at a pretty good spot right now. We do see that NightEnD is just going to continue that Immortal production, also going for his own third, and very cleverly putting a pylon next to these destructible rocks just to make sure no back attacks do come along. So we have a Hydralisk Den as well as another evolution chamber going down for Aristero. I say another one, I just meant the initial one because there's no second evolution chamber down. Twilight Council on the way as well now for NightEnD. And I really like how NightEnD is playing this out. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see something like Zealot Charge, but at the same time, now that he is going up to a third base, DTs are also a very good possibility, as if you commit to DTs earlier on, then you potentially crippling your tech paths or something like tech paths or economy in general. And as you can see, he's going to be breaking down these back rocks. Whoa, what is going on? I'm pretty sure something bad just happened. Wow. Great. Stupid. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Due to technical difficulties, the world of StarCraft blew up and turned a slightly brown, hazy colour. So anyway, let's get straight back into the action. We do have Aristero going to be breaking down these back rocks and going to be pushing up here, but these cannons are doing a pretty damn good job of blocking them off here. Nice force field's going to be able to separate a lot of those units, and but at the same time, he can't actually get up past these force fields to stop the rest of these units. The last force fields do indeed, though, dissipate, and these units are going to be able to be fended off pretty damn easily. And on the production tab, we do have a few Hydralisks coming out, as well as grooved spines. These roaches, though, do seem to be being quite pesky, going to be coming in here and killing off a few of these probes. And but NightEnD is going to be able to clean this up, no problem whatsoever. So he is going to be able to establish a little bit more of a foothold up here now with these cannons. And I think one thing that we're overlooking really is the fact that NightEnD could be doing a better job. There we go. He is scouting this here, and he does see these Hydralisks. So good job there from NightEnD. Going to be using that observer. I was going to suggest that he could use the hallucination that he did get earlier, as he only used that for the initial scouting. But once he done with that, then he was fine as a bear. Fine as a bear. Spire now going down for Aristero, and at the same time we do have where on earth are those Twilight Council and Templar Archives and Dark Shrine going down for NightEnD. So really cool tech paths here. Most of the time whenever you see the Hydralisk composition, most people do go for the standard Colossus. But it looks like NightEnD going to be very content here with probably going for Storm, and indeed Storm does start on the production tab, but at the same time High Templars are going to give him the ability to potentially morph in cheaper-ish Archons or do some major DT harass, and 3-pronged DT harass at this point in the game is so pesky to deal with for the Zerg, and it's not really that costly to the Protoss at all at this point. Nice positioning of this Stalker here, going to be noticing when this push does come in, and it looks like there's going to be a bit of an engagement here. Good force field's going to be going down, preventing this from actually doing any damage whatsoever. NightEnD realizes that this force is pretty scary, and wow, Aristero bringing all his overlords with him here in order to give his Hydralisks that movement speed that they so need when they're being offensive. And NightEnD really not wanting this engagement to happen at all. He's just biding time for the Psionic Storm to finish. Psionic Storm does finish, and Archon does morph in somewhere, and indeed there even, and he's now going to be able to throw down a Pelora of Storms, going to be throwing those down, really nice Storms, weakening a lot of those forces there, and at this point Aristero should be really wary of pushing in. This army could decimate this ball if he lands some better Storms. Another good Storm going off on those Roaches and Hydras, and actually they walked back into that Storm. That's really not good. But now all these High Templar are pretty much empty on the energy front, but look at how strong this army is in comparison to how weak all these units are. But that being said, the Hydras are still doing a lot of damage, as Hydralisks pretty much counter every single frigging unit that is there. Pardon my language. But we do now see that NightEnD is going to be able to fend this off, even getting an Overlord kill in the process. But at the same time, Aristero is playing well. He is doing the whole expansion behind attack thing, and going to be able to secure pretty good economy. But at the same time, wow, NightEnD actually going to be throwing up another expansion to the north here. Unbeknownst to the Zerg player, we do have an infestation pit on the way now for Aristero, and just going to be adding on with units here. We do have Zealot Charge on the way. It's going to be really helpful in this game. But also, I wouldn't mind seeing more Archons, especially with the weapons upgrades going up. The great thing about Archons is they do bonus damage to biological, and pretty much everything in the Zerg arsenal is biological, so they can rip through a Zerg army given the chance. Especially with good force fields, they just absolutely decimate the Zerg. So that would be really nice to see, especially since now they are massive and have 3 range as opposed to the 2 range from the previous patch. And wow, Aristero actually going up to Hive Tech very, very soon. Just morphing that in now. Nice Storm landing on there, but again, a nice pick-off of a High Templar just in that position. Load of probes just dancing across the battlefield as if they don't give a damn. And I don't give a damn. We do have a few Immortals coming out as well in order to be able to bolster this force. This actually scary force. We do have Zealot Charge now finished, and Aristero at the same time his force is just as scary, maxed, and going to be saving up a lot. Big engagement going up here. Guardian Shield's going up. Immortal is going to be able to soak up a lot of that damage. And but NightEnD in a bit of a bad spot, as the Hydras just do so much damage, as previously said, to all these units. And wow, the Hydralisk's just ripping through this army. Really not sure what he could do here at this point. NightEnd's in a bad spot. He really needs a few more High Templars in order to be able to drop some decent storms down on these units. And now Aristero seems to have spotted this base up here to the north. He's going to be able to go and pressure that potentially. No. He's actually coming back here to try and defend a lot of these overlords as NightEnD sees the opportunity to kill them off, pushes in and does indeed do a lot of damage. But at the same time we do have a few roaches to the north here. Going to be killing off a few of these units. NightEnD does warp in a few more units up at the top to be able to fend that off. And NightEnD just pushing out, keeping these Zerg units at bay. But wow, look at all this creep spread going on from Aristero. He really has that extending way over to the base of NightEnD. A few spine crawlers here in order to be able to secure these positions even better. And there's no reason you don't need those spine crawlers. Always so useful as a Zerg player. And ooh, we do have a greater Spire morphing in, as well as Corruptors coming out. So Aristero really going to be piling on the pressure pretty soon as those Broodlords do come out. Few more Corruptors in the production tab now. 7 Corruptors on the way. And they're going to be able to rain down havoc on this force, as NightEnD really doesn't have anything to deal with Broodlords. He really would need Blink Stalkers or perhaps some Void Rays, but he has nothing of the sort. He does have a quick option to tech to Blink if he so desires, but right now he doesn't actually know that that is morphing in. He has no idea that a Greater Spire is on the way, nor does he know that Hive has actually morphed in. So NightEnD could be in a bad spot here. I would say that NightEnD going into this game was the favourite, but if he allows oh my god, it's like a sixth sense, seriously. NightEnD actually starting Blink as the Broodlords are morphing in. He hasn't seen Broodlords, maybe he has. No, he hasn't seen Broodlords at all, but obviously he knows the timing for Broodlords in these long drawn out matches, and he is going to be getting Blink very soon. That being said, he really doesn't have that much of a Stalker force. Looking at these Stalkers here, he only has 16 Stalkers, a few more reinforcing to the north, and ultimately, I don't know if that's going to be enough against 9 Broodlords and this ground army. This is going to really tear apart NightEnD here. NightEnD is going to have to move back. He does have a few storms saved up on those High Templar, but this is a very, very scary Zerg force. This Zerg force can do a significant amount of damage to this entire... What is going on here? Oh, actually, NightEnD killing off a few of his units in order to free up supply so he can get a few more units out. But this scary, scary force is going to be able to push in here. Not too bad storms there, going to be able to deny a lot of what is going on. But again, actually, the Archons are fantastic against Broodlings. So if he can get the Archons in good position, which currently he isn't. Wow, nice blink there by... NightEnD going to be able to blink up and take out quite a few of these Broodlords, and great storms actually going off on the entirety of this force, but the Hydras are so low on health and none of them are dying. Wow, NightEnD in a really bad spot as more Broodlords come to reinforce. 26 Hydras on the production tab, so it looks like NightEnd's going to have to GG here pretty soon, as there are just so many Hydras, and NightEnD does end up GGing Manelium Dystar actually in this match as well. So yeah, that's going to be it for this game, ladies and gentlemen. Aristero just absolutely shredding through NightEnD in the final stages of that game, and Aristero showing he's no small feat to be messed with. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this. Sorry about the technical difficulties during the middle of the cast. I didn't want to go back and cast another 15 minutes of the game, so I just kind of left it in for whatever's sake. So if you like what you see, please do subscribe and stick around for more videos in the future. Also, please catch up with us on Team Liquid with the CSN updates and the Clash of the Houses Korean pro gaming tournaments coming your way very soon. Thank you very much, and bye for now.